Good evening. Good evening. I really hope that you can hear me. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate everybody that is joining me. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome back to another live stream. It's been a while. I decided that I should do this live stream weekends, so that I don't have to burden myself too much trying to meet up with the time I'm putting out. So thank you so much for joining me. My name is Blessing and you're welcome to my Blessedom TV. So if you are new here, you know what you have to do. Please hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much if you did that. And as usual, I always begin with saying thank you to every one of you who already subscribed, who joined me recently, who have supported me all along. I really appreciate that support. Thank you so much. So today being Sunday, I thought that we should talk about, everything we are hearing about pastors. And, this week a pastor was jailed for fraud, a CCC, Celestial Church of Christ pastor. Even he's a very popular pastor, Ogundigbe Israel. He also does videos that are online and stuff like that, Yeah, so he was jailed for defrauding a woman by taking over her property, giving false prophecies, and taking money from her. And I also wanted to bring to you another story of another pastor who is from the southeast, who was caught doing juju or something like traditional religion. He was doing it underneath the Christian religion that he's putting forth, and the people did not take it very kindly with him. So I'm just looking at everything we are seeing about pastors, and I was thinking that because today is Sunday, maybe it's worthwhile to talk about it. Yeah, why are all these things happening? Is it because it is end time, or is it just because of the situation of things and people are just seeing opportunity? Everyone is desperate. The pastors, the followers, everyone is just kind of in a very desperate mood to get hold of something, to get ahead, to be ahead, to be better, to get something that I don't know. Like, I feel that beyond saying fake pastors is everywhere, it is the environment that is encouraging this behavior. And in the case of this Israel Ogudikwe, I don't know if you guys have heard the story about how he defrauded this woman that is based in London. And as a matter of fact, this woman is actually an architect. She's an architect and she's based in the UK. And she went home to Nigeria and for one reason or the other, her sister took her to this pastor, and she kind of liked the pastor. And I think at that time this pastor was not yet popular, because this thing happened way back like 2010 or something like that. So yeah, it's been a long time, and the trial has been going on since 2011. So she felt like she came in contact with this pastor and trusted him, and they started praying for her, giving her prophecies, and they did some kind of things for them. Anybody that knows Celestial Church of Christ knows that their system is different. The kind of services they also do is different, and they are almost like some kind of maybe church dibia. I don't know, like they tell you to do things, to do something that you would even equate to sacrifices, something like that. So yeah, she said they did all that. They asked her to drink something, they took her to the bush to take a bath, those kind of things that everybody knows is common with like white garment church, if I may say. Correct me if I'm wrong. So anyway, yeah, she did all those things, and then the pastor, also the prophet, Israel Ogundikwe, is the what is the name of this church? Genesis Parish of this Celestial Church of Christ. So she got prophecies from him, and she gave him money, and some at some point it even degenerated to him making claims that she had his baby, and only a DNA test could have saved her marriage, because it caused problem between her and her husband, and so many other claims. But the main ones that got him to the court, and through the judicial system, is that he took money, and the woman is saying the money, if she put it together, is more than 17 million naira. So I don't know how much it's going to be in dollar or euro right now, but in naira it is 17 million naira and above. And she said most of the money was the money that was supposed to go for land, you see. So apparently the pastor or the prophet didn't deliver, and at the end he wanted to have the land, and like keep the land and whatever he has possessed in her name. And she tried to get him to give him back the money, but he didn't respond appropriately, and that was why the case even went to court. So this is just one of the case, and there are many things you can consider in this saga between this woman and this person, especially that somebody that is living in abroad, and you would expect that when you live in abroad, like for example, you have some kind of level of exposition, and maybe you should do something differently. But we keep seeing these things many times, because of all the difficulties we face, wherever we are, we face difficulties all the time. And so we tend to trust too much, especially anybody that, says they are man of God and all this kind of a thing. So personally, I will not go into a personal judgment, but the jury has given their verdict, the judge has given his verdict or her verdict, and it turned out that he was guilty, and he said that they need him to pay back 11 million naira, and he's going to go to jail for 2 years in addition to paying back the money. So yeah, the woman has lost her money, and I don't know if the pastor will be in a position to pay back all those money and still go to jail. So why am I doing this video, especially for most of us? I believe that most of us that are on YouTube are living in the diaspora. I think we can learn one or two things from there, that just because somebody is seeing vision for you, or based in Nigeria and being your pastor, you should be careful. Like, if your mind is telling you like maybe something is not so cool, I believe that you should take it into consideration and follow your conscience, because I've seen so many cases personally. Even I know somebody that their pastor, they see vision for them, and then they ask them, they say they should do this, they should do that. In fact, one of my one somebody I even know, she was even asking me that, they told her to come home immediately, that they are going to do special prayers and she's going to come back, and so many scary things that you hear. So yeah, my people, the times are dangerous right now. I put that end times because everybody used to attribute everything that is happening to end times. I like to think that because of the situation that we're facing, things are not going very well at home. Everybody is desperate right now. The followers and the church leaders, they are all desperate. So sometimes there are bad eggs who take advantage of all this desperation, who want to go into the ministry because of what they will benefit from it. And especially since being in the ministry is no longer because you have gone through the profession. It's like you just wake up and you say you have a vision. So it's a different ball game. So how do you know who had a vision? And most of the time they don't have superior, so you cannot go to their superior. They are the beginning and the end. So if you are not in good terms with him, that's it. Unlike in the normal clergy system, they will always have a superior that you can always go to their superior. Yeah, so this is one of the story that I wanted to share with you. So the other story I wanted to share with you is another pastor in the southeast. So they said that they always see him that he's doing fetish things in that place, and so I don't know what he did particularly. Good evening, Simon. You're welcome. Thank you so much. Because I'm looking that nobody is reacting. I was wondering, but I see that some people are here with me, so I just continue to talk. You're welcome. I wanted to show you this picture, although there are some parts of it where they beat the man, so I no go put that side. So yeah, they found that he was doing traditional religion under the Christianity that he's fronting. So that's the man. I put his picture here, and he's from the southeast. And if you look at that pastor, for example, you will see that this guy is just looking for a way to make ends meet, you see. And being a pastor was just the easiest way for him to achieve that. So yeah, and they dealt with him mercilessly. And I don't know if that was appropriate. Personally, I am not a fan of any form of jungle justice. I don't want that kind of thing. If somebody has done something wrong, take him to the appropriate authorities. I detest people taking laws into their hand, and it is too much. Before, people used to think, oh, this is a Yoruba thing. Oh, this is something that happens, in the north. So like, they are already radicalized and doing so all those kind of things. And in the southwest, there are so many major cities and many people from like, it's a crazy place, and people used to assume that in the south it was cooler. But these days we see a lot of these activities. Somebody, hey, they will just get hold of the person. Hi, Samuel David, you're welcome. So yeah, they caught this man. They said he's a pastor, and they caught him. They dealt with him. So this is the man. This is the man that I was talking about. I'm going to show you his picture here. So this is him here. So they caught him. They said they saw juju with him. They, in fact, when they told him, I'm going to show you the video, but I will try to skip the part where they were beating him. See. So they said in that pot that he put juju inside there. Some people were even saying that person head dey inside, but I don't know. So they are afraid to carry it. They said he should go and carry it. But before this time, they have really touched him. Or they don't already tear in cloth, you see. So they asked him to go and carry that pot. They said he should go and... Hey, good evening, Olajumoke. I'm sad. You're welcome. So this is the church. You can see that he's just starting, you see. So this is where he prays, and then they are showing you this is the altar. Huh? And there they see a lot of fetish things. You can see the fetish thing. So crowd are gathering. So they're saying a person head inside that pot, but I don't know whether not true. But that's what they are saying in Igbo language. You see. So they are beating him, they are flogging him now, but I don't want to show it yet. But if you want to see the video, I can send it to you. I'll put my number down there. You can indicate I will send the video to you, because they are beating him now. So now he has gone to carry the pot. This is the pot. They say you see Madu. I don't know if it is true. So this was what happened, though. They now forced him to also continue to go and, yeah, I didn't want to show you when they are beating him. So they now made him to go and bring the rest of the things that is in his shrine. So this is where he puts his things, where he makes his sacrifices. I don't know. So like I think maybe he just uses that kind of thing to scare people. So it's like his shrine, he makes sacrifice. Maybe he will tell them to bring stuff. He will tell them to bring stuff, So eventually they opened the pot. They say they saw something from human there, So they paraded him in the whole village. You know how it is now. So they made him to carry the thing, the pot. This was him. They made him to carry the pot. You see. This is the man. This is the pot. Look, that is the pot. And they now took him round the town. Huh? See him now carrying the thing. They now took him round. So me personally, I don't like this kind of jungle justice. Maybe, okay, fine. He's doing fraud and he's not being faithful to the Christian faith, But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Perhaps he's not truly a believer. He's just using it as a cover. And maybe you can say, okay, he's a fraudster. I don't know if it is warranting this kind of treatment. I don't think it is necessary. It's just enough to to kind of expose him, and his business will be over. So what I'm saying in this video basically is that people should just use their mind. If you look at the situation of things, things are hard. Everybody is looking for a way out. And, people can go into religion and say God has spoken to them and take advantage of, the gullible people. And I wanted to show you this video also of a pastor that is that is arranging prayers for President Trump. He made his followers to be praying for President Trump. Where is that video? Although the video is dark.
Let your angels go and complete those ballots. Ballots in favor of Trump. Let them go and complete. Let them go to US.
Hi. You're welcome, Lawan.
Ballot paper. Let them complete. Let them complete Trump's own. Oh yeah, go ahead. Angels, they'll go do the voting. Oh yeah, open your mind and begin to.
So you just have different type of pastors that are doing different things. But I think that especially for people that are abroad, once you call somebody at home and the person is like, especially this spiritual pastor that they see tomorrow and they see everything, and you just call them and you tell them that you are abroad, you may actually become a victim. You understand me? Good evening, Lawan. You're welcome. You may actually become a victim, but it is important for people to know that this time that we are in, things are hard, and like maybe you are looking for a job, maybe because you know how it is. The job market is tough, the economy is bad, so you can expect that there will be very much difficulty to get a good job, and so you are desperate to get a good job. And then you also have a pastor, who maybe he's not able to get into the profession he wants, and he has the gift to talk and do ministry, and he goes into the ministry. So when both of you meet, both of you are like kind of desperate people who need solution. So the pastor, or may need money, financial money to keep up, and you need prayers and anything that the pastor can offer you to give you the illusion of help and hope and solution. So yeah, that's how I see it. I think that it's just they are following the direction of their pastor, because if their pastor say do like this, of course when you are in a church and they raise a prayer point, yeah, you pray. Now what are you going to do? You see. So I just think that, like, for the woman I was talking about, that this prophet Israel defrauded, she's not the only one. There are many. There are even those ones who are here in the UK, because somehow we don't trust, like, we have lost trust with our family members because of the same thing. You tell them to do something for you, they will not do it. They will be eating your money. You call your neighbor, you want your phone. You know how it is when you are in the abroad. You need somebody trustworthy to help you to achieve some milestones at home, some goals that you have, and you are trying to use your family members, it's not going. And then you try to use your spiritual leader, you see. And most of the time, some people are faithful, but many others are not lucky, you see. And even here in this abroad, you still have people that they will be hustling, because of this pali or no pali. They will be looking for somebody trustworthy to be giving something, to be holding for them, because of the same trust that they are people of God. They will still use that thing against the people, and they will say, after all, the person is not going to be able to go to the authorities and say this person is holding so amount of money from me, because the authorities are going to say, what, where did you get that kind of money? You see. So everybody should just listen to their spirit. I believe that no matter anything you are doing, if you are sincere to yourself and you are not too desperate, if you meet with a pastor or a prophet, I believe that your spirit will tell you something. Personally, that's what I think, that your intuition will give you an insight that, even if the pastor asks you to do something, your inside will touch you that it's this thing. And especially when they will tell you to keep it a secret, don't let anybody know. It is important to tell one person and say, look at what I'm doing. Like one lady that called me and told me that she's talking with these pastors, they see vision for her, they've seen something that they have never seen before, and they ask her to come, they want to do something, they will just put their hand on her. We're talking about somebody that live in the US, our US citizenship, as a career going, and it is somebody that is in Nigeria that will now say you should come, and you now pray for you. You understand? So at the end of the day, when I told her that you need to be cautious, and especially if you want to do something like that, you first of all, you go home to your family first, because the arrangement is that she will just come straight from the US. She will land, I think it's somewhere in Ogun State. She will land straight in that Ogun State, and then the pastor will come and pick her, and then they will go and pray for her, lay their hand on her, and then when they finish the prayer, she will now start coming back. So she was actually trying to book that ticket like a day ticket. Imagine, because she can afford it, you know. And before this time, you can imagine the money she has been paying for prayers and all those things. But it was God that touched her mind and she was thinking about it. So she decided to ask somebody. And I told her that if it is me, if it is me, because here in Germany, if you ask somebody for advice, they are not going to say, do like this, do like this, like Nigerian people. They will tell you that, if it is me, if I'm in your shoe, I will do like this, I will do like this. That's so I told her, like, if I was you, if I was in your shoe, I'll be very careful, especially since my mind is telling me to be careful. And I will not go from the US straight to Ogun State to a pastor that I met online or through whoever, no matter the level of the vision. I will go first of all to my family, and then I will go to the church with my family members, you know so you don't put yourself in this kind of risk that you are coming all the way from America, your family doesn't know, you will go to the hand of people you don't know, like you just know them through the claims like this, you see. So, and I believe a lot of people have fallen victim like that, because there was also one we heard one time that, the man was praying for her, and she just has only one child, and but she's rich, she has so many property, and then when she got there, the man just kind of took her life. And at the end of the day, he wanted to convert everything that belonged to the woman to himself. Unfortunately for him, the woman told somebody else. So I don't think it's just a matter of the end time per se. I just think it's because of the situation of things, and everybody is trying to take advantage of the situation, take advantage of the desperation, use any means possible to get ahead. So yeah, I'm just trying to make this video to say it's not everywhere you see that they say church, you will just be putting your hair. Look at, for example, this story that will follow about this woman that lost her baby. You see what happened to that baby. That she went to that place, and then all of a sudden she couldn't find her baby again, and that was it up till now. And she's not the only one. There are so many cases like that, you see. So I think that end time or no end time, I feel that people should just be wary of where they go, who they entrust, who they put their trust in, who they tell their secrets, who they tell, their deepest things, because just because somebody is a pastor, just because somebody it's not just a pastor, so even imam. I remember one of my best friends, then the father wanted to build a house, so the father kind of gave it to the brother. The brother was, how it is, the brother was kind of doing what we know them to do, and then he now decided to give it to a pastor to help him to run the project of the building. The pastor was even doing more than the brother. So somebody now told him that all these pastors, they are not faithful, that he should use an imam or an afa, something like that. So he now got an afa. The same thing was happening. The afa was still misappropriating his funds. And at the end of the day, he now decided to say, okay, since it is like this, he now got like another person, like a professional builder, and the brother. So say okay, if I thought they will be eating, let him even know where the eating is going. Like, there is no way, no faithfulness, you see. So finally they were able to do it like that. So the engineer and the brother, so they were kind of checkmating themselves, because they didn't want each other to outsmart themselves. So that was how the man eventually was able to build that house. So yeah, don't forget to hit the like button if you are still here by this time. Thank you so much. Because they say it helps the Google algorithm or something like that. So I really appreciate that. So yeah, this is what I wanted to share with you today, because I thought that it is Sunday. Maybe we should talk about church matters, and yeah. I don't know if you have any other contribution. If you want me to send you the video, you can let me know and I'll send you the video. But ultimately, this is what I wanted to talk about, that end time pastors, pastors who are fraudulent, pastors who are doing LGBT under, pastors who are doing juju, like using traditional religion and saying it is Christianity, pastors who can take advantage of you, your children, your wife, your family, any situation you are in, and the same thing, just like we have people who are doing all these things, the same thing is people going into the Christian faith. And I don't know much about Afa and Imam, but I can imagine that they are not so also free from all this. But this is the reality of people who are Christians. And if you live abroad, don't trust too much, don't just give somebody all your hope and all your secret because they are your pastor, and somebody gave you their number, they say they can see, and then they begin to call you and you begin to put all your trust in them, and they will see prophecy for you, you begin to give them your money. This is how it's working all the time, especially for people who are abroad. So regardless of your condition, whatever you are passing through, especially document. Hey, good evening. Good evening, Denzel Ify. Good evening. So, especially because of for people here, everything because of Pali is a big problem, and because of this, most people may fall victim. They can tell them, do like this. They will do this one for you. They will do this one for you, but know that ultimately it is God Almighty that will still answer your prayer. Not because somebody is doing something for you, and if they ask you what is within logic and reason, that's how I see it. If somebody is telling me something that's within logic and reason, I can even say, okay, what do I have to lose? But if it is going beyond that, imagine by the time somebody will spend more than 17 million naira, you can imagine maybe the woman is already in debt in London. And this case has been going on since 2011. I don't know, maybe she wanted to buy land. She needed those plots of land to generate funds or something. And she had hope that the land will bring fortune for her. And at the end of the day, she lost the money. She didn't get the land. And still, she went to court, litigation on the cost of litigation. You see, all these things would have been avoided if she maybe took some other caution, maybe before, maybe the pastor can help to go and buy the land, but the papers will be with somebody else or something like that, like this complete trust of somebody just because they are pastor. We should begin to realize that they are also humans, and also the environment that they are in will also affect them. You understand me? If somebody is in a place like Nigeria that the law doesn't really favor everybody, but favors most of the time the rich and the known, it is very, very easy for them to take advantage of you. You understand? So I will really encourage all of us, especially all of us here in this abroad, be mindful of who you are calling at home as your pastor, as your prophet, as your imam, as your afa, and putting all your trust in them, and trusting them with everything that concern you. You understand me? This is just what I'm saying. This is what I'm taking away from this thing that has happened to this woman. And I've learned that the woman is an architect. She's based in the UK. Imagine somebody of that caliber and based in the UK can still fall prey to somebody that is in Nigeria. And starting out at that time, I think the man was starting out his ministry at that time, but in between he has grown to a known pastor in popularity as well. Yeah, yeah. I heard that they were in love relationship. Like it was a claim that the pastor made, and the pastor also said, or the prophet, I keep saying pastor, said that the woman had a child for her. But when they did DNA test for the child, it turned out that the child was not um his own. So you know how it is. Anything that involves a man and a woman, it's all very, very easy for it to go into that area. But that nonetheless, the fact that she gave him money procure property for her, and he didn't do that, and she doesn't have that property, and he wanted to keep it to himself. I think that is fraudulent, and I think for Nigerian judiciary to put him in jail, I think that's a big deal. I think as somebody that is high profile to go through the court system and get a sentence, I still continue to wonder. I will believe that the evidence is so much overwhelming. This is how I will be looking at it. I would think that the evidence is very, very much overwhelming, and I wouldn't be surprised that he's using that love relationship also to blackmail her, or to kind of turn the case against her. And I think that's really possible. I think it's a possibility, but I don't know. Of course, none of us were there. We only go by the verdict and the stories that we have heard. Yeah. So, my people, this is all I wanted to say for today. I really want to say thank you so much for joining me today. It's almost about 40 minutes since we started. So I really appreciate you joining me today. I hope that you are going to click the like button and like this video. And I hope that you're going to subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. Thank you so much. And I'll see you during the week in another video. Thank you so much. Bye for now.